Hello and welcome to Raw Healthy. It's a true honor to introduce someone who's wonderfully intelligent, who's caring, who's loving, who's empowering and very inspirational. Please welcome Professor Rozalind Graham.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Professor Rozalind.
Hello.
So here we are in the middle of 2012.
Yes.
Significant year for Earth and humanity. Can you just tell us, what is it all about?
Well, I don't know how many of your viewers and listeners are aware that this year is a very special year. And it is, according to many of the philosophies and predictions from ancient times, right through our history up until modern times, we are told apparently that this year is a catalyst of some great change. No one at this point knows exactly what that change is going to be. And there's many authors who've written extensively on the subject, some who have predicted rather dark things happening, to say the least, others who have a very positive outview on what might occur. And of course there are those, like myself, who feel that the conclusion of what will happen in 2012 has yet to be created by the people here resident on Mother Earth.
Yes, indeed, it is, and we are right in the middle of it as well. So what is it that people can do to accelerate their own inner change and to change the world around them?
What a rich, rich question. Initially and foremost, I think we need to look at our history and look at what's lying behind us and what we've created. And then we need to decide, as collectively as we can, do we want to move forwards and create more of the same? Or are we going to create something better, something new, something far more constructive, and more to the point, truly reflective of who we are inside? Because we, each of us, are nothing but pure love. It's just that many of us have become disconnected from that and forgotten it. Now, if we are able to bring about sufficient change in a sufficient number of people, whereby they reconnect with the true essence of who they are, and this planet becomes just the epitome of love and compassion and kindness, the whole of humanity and every sentient being on this planet will be transformed beyond recognition for the better. Now, the way to approach that, in my mind, first and foremost, is to try to attain clarity of mind, health of body. And I say health of body because, apart from the fact that health of body will very much influence how clear of mind we are, it's very hard to connect with our loving essence if we are in a state of deep distress and pain and suffering symptoms or other such things and signs of chronic degeneration. So if we can maximize our health and vitality and clear our minds, we'll be able to think straight. And never in our history has there been such a time when it's so important to think clearly. Now, one big step we can take is to change our diet and lifestyle, and we need to do it quickly. We need to change from consuming other sentient beings on the planet. We need to take it further than that, and we need to discontinue drinking the milk of another species, which no other species on this planet does except humans. It's great perversion of the natural plan. We need to move away from distorting the nutrients in our food by subjecting it to the process of cooking and heat. We need, in other words, to achieve a raw vegan diet. And when we're consuming such a diet that is not excessively high in fats, which is also unnatural to our biological disposition, we will find that the amount of available energy we have is primarily available to our mind and our brain and our consciousness, instead of being primarily devoted to sorting out the digestive mess in our intestines and healing our body as it is thrown into a state of chaos from this digestive mess. So by adopting a low-fat, raw vegan diet, this is the number one way which we can go about actively creating a new world. Because by doing so, we'll gain that clarity of mind, we'll regain our health, and in that, we will find that we're able to reconnect with the essence of who we are.
can you tell us about the benefits of going vertical rather than horizontal? I won't tell much more at this point. It's something that you can explain.
Well, it's a good question. Many studies have been done comparing a vegetarian's use of the earth for growing their food as opposed to somebody who is eating the flesh and products of another animal. And it's certainly true to say that by becoming a vegetarian, you are using a lot less land. In fact, a vegetarian can get their food supply from 1/6 of the amount of land taken to produce food for a meat eater. Now, when we start to look at raw food vegans who are consuming correctly a predominant amount of fruit, we'll find that a lot of where they're getting their food from is trees, which of course are vertical for the most part, hopefully, and therefore we are using a far more economical space for our food than we would be were it all lying flat on the ground. The amount of food we're able to provide for the population of the world is much multiplied once we start gardening vertically as opposed to just horizontally. And I'm sure that there's going to be people watching this particular film that we're producing here. Some people will be well along the path to already consuming, a very high raw vegan diet, and that's excellent. But there may well be others who are just being introduced to this subject possibly, and maybe finding some of the things that we're suggesting a little bit of a challenge, let's say. Well, my advice is that whoever you are, is that you consider who you've been in the past, you consider who you are now, and you consider who you want to become. And that every time you prepare a meal, collect your food, or sit down to eat that meal, that you eat it in accordance with who you're becoming, and not with who you've been in the past. And the change may happen quickly, it may happen slowly, but each mouthful is literally one bite closer to becoming your potential.
Professor Rozalind, as such, there is no scientific data supporting the fact that raw vegan diet gives us clarity of mind. This is incredibly important. To have clarity of mind means to make clear decisions and to implement powerful and intelligent solutions. So why is it that a raw vegan diet gives us clarity of mind?
That is a really good question. And I think, surprisingly though, there may not be specific studies relating the raw vegan diet to clarity of mind, not any clinically proven studies. But however, if one looks in the texts of the anatomy, physiology, biochemistry and nutritional books, the information is all there. It very clearly states what happens to the different nutrients in our foods when they're subjected to heat. And if we then take that information and we take it to the physiology of the body, and we see how those changes affect the body, we very quickly find that the nutrients become perverted or changed in such ways that it seriously reduces the oxygen to the brain, it seriously reduces the circulation of the blood around the body. And so I think it would conclude to say with this that there is no question, according to textbooks that have stood this test of time for many decades, that unquestionably a raw vegan diet provides us with far greater health when it comes to mental health, mental clarity, and awake consciousness.
I hope that our viewers will get an appreciation of, firstly, the importance of this year, secondly, the importance of their own choices, and thirdly, the importance of how their choices are affecting the wider whole that we're part of. And last but not least, can you just share with us what is your favorite fruit?
Yes, certainly. My favourite fruit is whatever happens to be organic and ripe and available at that time.
It's pretty much the same for me because I can never come up with just one fruit that excites me. It's all fruit. I would like to thank you, Professor Rozalind, for coming here, for giving such a powerful, inspirational talk. All of your talks are inspirational. And we're wishing you all the best, and all the best to your wonderful little girl, Francesca.
Thank you. Bless you all. Thank you.